Here's a little tip on managing expectations. One of the reasons that we get frustrated and disappointed is because what we expected to happen didn't happen. So for example, say you're going to meet a friend for coffee and they don't turn up and they don't tell you that they're not going to turn up, and you're sitting there in the cafe and you start to feel maybe frustrated, sad, disappointment, hurt, lots of different emotions come up. And the reason being is that you were expecting that person to be there and they're not. Now at Christmas time, these expectations can be much higher. We have these expectations in our head, these little sort of ideal scenarios, stories going on in our head about how such and such an event or a dinner or lunch or whatever it is going to go perfectly. And we create this perfect expectation in our head, and everything's going to be perfect and everybody's going to be perfect and I'm going to feel super happy. And then what happens is things don't start going to plan. For example, the car breaks down, we're running late, somebody misses a flight, somebody forgot to cook the Christmas dinner. I mean, there could be a number of things, and they often tend to happen on Christmas Day. So our expectations start to be dismantled and ruined and disappointed. Now we have a choice. We always have a choice over our response to any situation. We can either react to it or we can respond to it. And most people are reacting unconsciously rather than responding in a more intelligent way. But first of all, we have to be aware of, well, did I have an expectation over this situation? And therefore, if I'm feeling frustrated or disappointed or angry or whatever the feeling is this because I had an expectation and this expectation isn't being met? So what's the solution? Well, first of all is to be aware of our expectations, but secondly is to know how to respond and to not be attached to what is happening and to accept the reality of what actually is happening. Because when we can accept what is, rather than resist what is, that really reduces our stress and overwhelm. So for example, say you're expecting somebody to fly in, they're due to fly in at 7 o'clock, and you've got it all planned out in your day. Well, I'm going to pick this person up at 7 o'clock, and then I'm going to put the chicken in the oven at 8 o'clock, and then I'm going to, and I'll be doing, you've got your whole day planned. And then you get an email or a text or a phone call or whatever it is, and you say, I'm really, really sorry, but my flight's not arriving until 10. And that throws your whole plan out. Well, you can either get upset and annoyed and resist and angry and fight and throw the dishes across the kitchen or whatever it is and scream at somebody, or you can accept, okay, this is reality, this has happened, this is happening, this is what is, and I need to make the best of it. So I'm going to choose not to go into my habitual response of being angry and stressed and annoyed, and I'm going to choose to accept that this is what is. And now from that new calm state, I'm going to decide what action to take to make the best of this situation. And when we remain in that much more calm state, we have a much better ability to deal with the situation and to find the right solutions. So all of this requires becoming much more self-aware, becoming aware of how we respond to situations, becoming aware of our automatic expectations, and becoming aware of how we respond and how we feel and how we deal with things. And once we learn to do this and we become more responsive rather than reactive, what will happen is that things will go wrong, but we won't get stressed or go into overwhelm anymore. And I can assure you this is the truth, because I've been experiencing it a lot myself over the last few years, is that things that would have really annoyed me and upset me in the past, the same thing could happen now and it doesn't faze me. So this is what is possible. Everything can be going to pot outside, and as in outside your body, but you are not affected in the same way. You can still stay very, very calm and stress-free, and then deal with the situation. And that's a much nicer way to be. It's a much easier way to live. So give that a try.